Hey guys, Julie here. Today we're in the kitchen. We're going to be making some green chili chicken enchiladas. This is one of my favorite meals to make. I probably make it once a week, once every 2 weeks, and it gets absolutely devoured. I actually used to have leftovers, but now they just disappear. Okay, and the key ingredient to this is going to be hatch chili. I keep pounds and pounds of this in my freezer. Take it out a day before. Once it's all thawed out, I peel all of the skin off and scrape out the seeds and chop it up. I literally only have a storage freezer in my garage for 2 reasons: green chili and venison. The next thing that we'll do is cook the chicken. I use my Ninja Foodie on the pressure setting and cook it for about 14 minutes. This honestly keeps the chicken just really juicy. So we'll just put 3 to 4 chicken breasts in the pot, drizzle a little bit of oil, put tons of garlic salt, salt and pepper, and a little bit of water at the bottom. And we'll just use a little bit of olive oil, probably about a teaspoon and a half or 2. Top it off with some garlic salt, pepper and salt, half a cup of water since we're pressure cooking it. And after the chicken is done, I like to use my KitchenAid to shred it up. That way I can just shred it while it's still hot, and it shreds it really well. I'll just go ahead and take a fork and put each of the chicken breasts into the bowl of the KitchenAid mixer. I just leave the broth behind usually, but if you add it in, it could add a little bit of flavor and juiciness to it. And mix that on medium speed until all of it is all shredded up. We'll go ahead and transfer the chicken to another large bowl. Now we'll get all of our ingredients together. I like to just combine everything into a large bowl before putting it all together. So we'll start off with some diced white onion. I use half of a large white onion, and we'll just add that right into the chicken. And of course we have our hatch chili that's been roasted, peeled, and chopped up. This chili is hot, so I use about 1.5 pounds. And when I use a more mild chili, I'll use more, but if I have a really hot chili, I'll have to use less so that I can still enjoy it. And we'll go ahead and add a large can of cream of chicken soup. And don't worry, we'll be mixing all of this up. It's super thick, but we're going to be adding some green enchilada sauce. I use the large can of Las Palmas green enchilada sauce. I've tried quite a few different brands, and honestly, this is one of my favorites that's actually available in my area. However, some homemade sauce would be even better. Next, we'll go ahead and add some garlic salt, salt and pepper. I always start out with about 1 to 2 teaspoons of each, but I typically add more after I've mixed it all up and taste it to see how much more I need. We'll go ahead and just start mixing that and mix everything together until it's all fully incorporated. The enchilada sauce is pretty thin and the cream of chicken is pretty thick, so together they'll create a good consistency. And of course, we want the green chili and the onion to be spread out evenly. Then, once everything's all cooked, we'll go ahead and start layering it into a 9 by 13 casserole pan. And I use white corn tortillas, and I just lightly fry them in a little bit of oil. You don't want to fry them too long to where they're crunchy, but just enough so that they're heated and still pliable. We'll spray just a little bit of cooking spray, and I just take 6 tortillas, lay them down. Scoop the enchilada sauce onto the tortillas and spread it around. And add just a little bit more. And we'll go ahead and add some cheese on top. I use shredded cheddar and Monterey Jack cheese. Then we'll just go ahead and add another layer of tortillas. And we'll do a total of 3 layers. So on the bottom 2 layers, I'll add quite a bit of the enchilada mix and not quite as much of the cheese. But on the top layer is where I'll add the bulk of the cheese. And we'll go ahead and put together this last layer. I like to scrape the sides and get as much as I can. But if I'm really hungry, I'll save a little bit and make a taco out of it. So we'll go ahead and add that last little bit of cheese all over the top. And we'll need a little bit more. So we'll go ahead and add that. And I spread it all over, but I also like to clean up the sides to make sure it's not overflowing. Once we have everything all together, we'll go ahead and preheat the oven to 425 degrees, and it really only needs about 10 minutes. It cooks pretty quickly, especially when you shred the chicken when it's still hot. Now we'll go ahead and pull it out. And the sides should be bubbling. I like to pull it out before the cheese gets too melted. I also like to let it cool for just a little bit. That way it's easier to cut and serve onto a plate. And then we get to enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll post all of the instructions down below. Make sure to like and subscribe.